Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sheer Strikes podcast. My name is Eric Sheer, and in this podcast, I started on the Ultimate Sports Network, and then I'm not really too sure what happened. Honestly, the owner and CEO stopped answering my emails, and the website just disappeared. So I've really enjoyed doing it, and I hope that if this is your first time, welcome. I'm happy to have you, as I'm going to talk all things Tampa Bay Lightning. And if you're returning and you were on my actual old podcast, welcome back. Happy to have you. Glad you found me again. I've really enjoyed doing these. It definitely gives me a little bit more of a way to relieve some stress and share some joys about the team. And obviously, we have a lot of joys right now. We just beat the Toronto Maple Leafs on the 21st of April by a final score of 8-1. So let's talk about that for a minute. Okay. The Lightning are before last night's game, we're sitting at 100 points, 8 points behind Toronto, only a point ahead of Boston, as Boston was playing last night as well. So with that being said, this was a huge game for us. I'm not going to say it was a must win, but it was likely a playoff preview, if you will, to the first round. Toronto hasn't won a playoff series since 2004, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure. But they're hungry. They want to win, and they need to figure it out, really. They need to figure out what is going wrong, why they can't win, what they're doing to provoke them from winning. I mean, that's pretty plain and simple, right? But last night, the boys came out hungry. Granted, the Maple Leafs were without Austin Matthews, which, I mean, the guy's got 58 goals. Like, that's a huge loss for them. But we were also without Braden Point. So obviously Braden Point is not having a year like Austin Matthews, but he's still Braden Point, and he's doing Braden Point type things this season. So with that being said, 8-1 win. Incredible. That was the best effort I've seen our boys give all season. And boy, did they look good. First period, 0-0. Literally no complaints, none at all. I mean, we were outshot 14-7. So obviously not great. But we are not a good first period team. Haven't been for years. And with that being said, Bazzi came up with some unbelievable saves. Calgren, I believe his name is, from Toronto, rookie. He did well. I mean, in that period, he did very well. They're obviously trying to rest Jack Campbell for the playoffs, as we could be doing with Vazzy, but he's been pretty un-Vasilevsky, if you will. He has not played well at all. And to a lot of goalie standards, probably good, probably pretty decent play for them, but for Vazzy, not good at all. And I'm happy that he got a little bit of a confidence booster there. So that being said, second period rolls around, and man, did we explode. Our offense absolutely exploded. Alex Killorn scores the first goal of the game, a tip-in goal. Beautiful. I'm telling you, when I say everything was going right for Tampa, literally everything. There was not a thing that we did that was not good. There was one play on their goal, which I'll talk about here in a couple seconds or minutes. Wasn't great, but when you're up by that much, it really doesn't matter at all. So Killorn scores his 24th of the year. Assists come from Chernak and Hagel. I have been saying to my friends and family, those poor people, but I've been saying that we have not. Hagel has not impressed me since that trade, and we gave up a lot for Brandon Hagel. And he hasn't impressed me, but last night, I'm telling you, everybody played well. Literally everybody. With that being said, second goal of the game comes from Ross Colton. That's his 20th of the year. Wouldn't have happened without Nick Paul. That man has impressed me to no end since coming over from Ottawa in the Joseph trade. That was huge. Big body, huge forecheck, and a beautiful pass through two Maple Leafs to find Colton wide open backdoor. Beautiful. So assist come from Paul and Perry. Another tip in, because I mean the pass was kind of just like a feed, and I don't know how to explain it, but it was still a goal nonetheless. And then we have a history achieving goal. Steven Stamkos, the captain of the team, surpasses Martin St. Louis for the most points all time in franchise history. With, at that point, it was 954. But as you'll hear later on, he wasn't done there. So Stammer gets his 34th goal of the year and 954th point of his career on the power play. Couldn't have written it any better. Stamkos, classic one-timer for the record-breaking goal. You literally can't write that any better. So assists come from Kucherov and Hedman. The boys were passing absolutely incredible. The passing plays that they were able to come up with and bring out were just absolutely remarkable. With that being said, we draw another power play where Nikita Kucherov scores his 20th goal of the year, as well as his 601 career point. The assist on Stamkos's milestone goal kind of goes unnoticed, but that was his 600th point, and this was his 601st point. So that was pretty neat to be able to see. And Alex Killorn hit 400 career points in that game. So he's also at 401 because he assisted on Kucherov's goal along with Corey Perry. Tons of milestones last night. The game was just so well executed. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it was beautiful. So 4-0 end of the second period. I've said for years we are a second period team, and boy, did we prove it. Third period rolls around, and I'm like, let's keep this going. Let's stomp on him. Did they ever, man? Andre Palat tips another goal. I'm telling you, when you are tipping goals in left and right, everything's going right. Literally everything. So Andre Palat scores from a shot from Sergachev, who achieves his 30th assist of the year, 37th point. So that's a pretty decent year for Sergey. And another assist for Steven Stamkos. So he is now sitting at 900, and 55 points. About 3 minutes later on the power play, Alex Killorn tips in another goal for himself, assisted by number 91, Steven Stamkos. So he is now at the end of that game, because he did not, spoiler alert, get any more points during the game. He is sitting at 956 points, 3 ahead of St. Louis' record. He is just incredible. I mean, he is a great leader for us, and he's just everything you want in a quality character for an organization to build around, and we did that. So Killorn comes from Stamkos and Hedman, and then about 3 minutes after that, Ilya Mikheyev scores for them on a power play. Excuse me. And it is what it is. I mean, at that point, it's 6-1. Like, really, who cares, right? So 6-1. Sergey, this is the play I was talking about. So the goal that was let in was a little, I mean, Vazzy got a piece of it, and Sergey could have maybe gotten a stick on it, but he just missed. I think the puck was bouncing a little bit behind Vazzy, and Sergey couldn't get a stick on it. But it is what it is, and Ross Colton answers about a minute after that with his 21st of the year and second of the game. Palat found him. It was just unbelievable play by Andre Palat. And McDonough, both of them had the assist on that goal. And Pat Maroon, number 8 on the night. Pat Maroon gets his 10th of the year, comes from Palat. Assist come from Palat and Colton. So Palat and Colton had great games as well. But Pat Maroon, he's a character. Pat Maroon is something else, and I love him. He was talking trash all game with anybody that listened. But let's just clarify this. Like I said, this is a statement game for us. This is what we needed to go into the playoffs. Granted, one game. It is one game, and they were without Matthews. They didn't have their starter in net, but we didn't have Braden Point. But did we give them a statement? And wow, was that just incredible. But it was a very physical game. We had 34 hits to their 26, but that's not all. There were 114 penalty minutes in the game. Yeah, let's just pause for a second. 114 in the game. It was so fun to watch. Near the end, oh my God, the Maple Leafs had 65 penalty minutes. We had 49. So let's just go through them. Brandon Hagel, first period, high sticking. First period, too many men on the ice for Toronto. Tampa Bay Lightning hooking on Victor Hedman. The second period, this is where things started to get a little bit more feisty. Jason Spezza hooking for Toronto. Ilya Lyubushkin high sticking for Toronto. Cirelli and Giordano both get offsetting roughing penalties, as well as Brandon Hagel and John Tavares also get offsetting roughing penalties. Alex Kerfoot high sticks Steven Stamkos for another penalty for Toronto. Steven Stamkos at the exact same time trips Alex Kerfoot, so we get another penalty. And with about 31 seconds left in the period, Pat Maroon fights Wayne Simmonds, and man, that was entertaining. I'm not sure if anybody would have seen the picture, but Pat Maroon and Wayne Simmonds were smiling as they were just beating the living snot out of each other. It was incredible. It was so fun to watch. So then third period, and this is where things started to get out of hand, but man, loved watching it. Michael Bunting for elbowing, Cal Foote for holding, Nick Paul for a misconduct, as well as Colin Blackwell for a misconduct. Anthony Cirelli roughing, Corey Perry roughing. Kyle Clifford gets a match penalty for high sticking. Let's talk about that one. Corey Perry is standing in the corner. Mind you, in the third period, literally every time the whistle blew, there was some skirmish. And like I said, entertaining to watch. But Kyle Clifford has his stick in his hand and just bops Corey Perry on the head a couple times. Absolutely deserving of a game misconduct. That's unacceptable. That's intent to injure. The league automatically has to look at it. If you get a match penalty, likely will get a fine. Really, I highly doubt he's going to get a suspension. I mean, I'd be okay with it, but so then Morgan Riley roughing, Corey Perry roughing, Ilya Mikheyev slashing, Alex Killorn unsportsmanlike conduct, Pat Maroon misconduct, Wayne Simmonds misconduct, and that stems from a high hit from Wayne Simmonds on Mikhail Sergachev. I have no idea how that wasn't a penalty. Simmonds literally jumped into Sergachev's head. I do not understand it. So great on Pat Maroon for stepping in again on Wayne Simmonds. Michael Bunting gets a misconduct. Cal Foote gets a high sticking call and a roughing call. And Alex Kerfoot gets a cross-checking call, and that will do it for the penalty minutes. Whew. That's a lot. There's a lot on your mouth. So good. So entertaining. This ellipses a season high for us in goals for, and for Toronto, a goals against. Wonderful. I loved it. You just can't make that up. It's just incredible. I mean, Cooper commented on Stamkos, and he's just incredible. And I'm happy to have him as our leader, and I'm happy to have had so many milestones in the same game. I mean, Kucherov, 600th point, Killorn, 400th point, and Stamkos, franchise leader in points. just incredible. It was just unbelievable. And with that being said, we will then face Nashville on Saturday, again at home. Nashville is in a brutal fight for a wild card spot in that Western Conference. With at this point, you're fighting against Dallas, Vegas, and I guess kind of Vancouver, but not really. So those are big points for them, and they are huge points for us. I'll do another recap on Saturday or Sunday. Not sure when I'm going to get it out about the Nashville game, but I do want to get this out there too. I try to do merch on my other podcast on the Ultimate Sports Network. Didn't work out. The company kind of shut everything down that I was running it through, but here we are again, and I have found a way to get some merch out to you guys if you're interested. I mean, if you go to sheerstrikes.myshopify.com, you'll find it. So you'll just go down there and you'll click on shop all. And I've got quite a few things up. I got 16 items up. You got some tote bags, mugs, coasters, stickers. I got a couple hats, a blanket, a tapestry, mouse pad, magnets, long sleeve, crew neck in multiple colors, hoodie in multiple colors, t-shirt in multiple colors, as well as a hat in multiple colors. I would love it if you guys were able to go support that and build my brand. I'm also in college for broadcasting, and I'd like to build my name. And with that being said, I hope you guys can support it. So again, that website is sheerstrikes.myshopify.com. If you can see it in my screen share that I just did, that's awesome. If not, again, that is sheerstrikes.myshopify.com. And with that being said, I'm so happy to have to be able to do these again. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Or whenever you're listening to this, I hope you have a wonderful day, because the Lightning had a wonderful night. So with that being said, go Bolts.